Check, check, check. Mic check. You know. Okay.
All right, we rolling. Okay, first let me get some of your thoughts on the match that guys just had against Wake Forest.
It hasn't been an ideal weekend for us. We came out with a win again, thankfully. We pushed through, we gutted through some tough moments, and we're happy for that, and very happy that we played better tonight than we did, or today, than we did on Friday. But we don't come out of that feeling too proud, because we know we can play so much better and so much cleaner, and there's a lot of things that we can work on individually and as a team. So we're very happy for the win, we're proud of ourselves, and we are ready to work this week to fix those things that maybe we're not so proud of tonight.
So what are some of the things you think you guys need to work on?
Little things. I think we served really well today and we passed really well today. On Friday, those were things that we said we needed to do better. Myself as a blocker, I'm kind of drifting out. I need to kind of be more disciplined on my block. We have a couple of things we need to work on, being more aggressive and on not so perfect sets. Just a couple of things that we can just be more disciplined all around in our game, and I think that'll make things kind of come together a lot better.
You know, every time I come to one of the matches, it's hard to not notice the energy that you bring to the match. Talk a little bit about, you know, your leadership during the matches with just by the energy you bring. I
am loud. I'm a very loud person, and I think beyond volleyball, one of the things I love to do most is to make those around me smile, make those around me better. So on the court, for me to play well, I have to have a good time. For me to have a good time, I have to be bringing out the best in those around me, and I have to be loud. Thankfully, that's something that my team embraces and always has. And I find that we play so much better when we're free, and if I can help people be free and be more comfortable on the court, that's what I'm on the court to do.
I gotta ask you about Coach and how she prepares you guys to get these matches, to get the wins.
We do a lot, and the coaches do a lot on their own. They bring that into practice, and we pay a lot of attention to our scout. Dan, Danny, and Todd, they do a really good job kind of scouting teams, all aspects of their game, and figuring out what's best for us and what's best for us, what weaknesses we can exploit in other teams, and then how we can defend other teams' best plays. And I think a lot of how we compete and how we win is when we're the most disciplined on the scout and executing the scout, we play our best. And I think a lot of that prep that the coaches do really helps that. And then opponent aside, a lot of times our practices are pretty similar every day. We do a lot of focusing on the basics, on our technique, kind of going through things before we get into 6-on-6, and I think that helps us with our technique and just being more consistent on the court.
Now I gotta ask about, you know, volleyball it's kind of taken over basketball in its popularity. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what are some of the things that you think the game has done to make it more desirable for young girls?
I think, and I've never played basketball, unfortunately, I always wanted to, but my high school coach used to tell me that volleyball is the only 100% team sport. You can't dribble the ball all the way, even in like soccer or things like that. Track is an individual sport, basketball. It takes minimum 2 people to pass it down and kind of get to the basket, but with volleyball, you can't play the ball twice at the same time. You touch it and someone else has to touch it, and I think that desire and that need for the trust that you have in your teammates helps build a sense of camaraderie that a lot of other sports don't necessarily facilitate. And I think just being out there having so much fun, and then volleyball tournaments, you meet so many people, I think the sense of camaraderie that our sport encourages is something that not a lot of sports do in that same way, and that's my opinion. I think that's an edge volleyball has.
Now I got one more. You know, none of these matches would be what they are without the fans.
Yeah.
And you know, I noticed how much the fans are so into every match and encourage you guys. Talk a little bit about the fans and how they encourage you guys.
Our fans are awesome, and we have some people in the stands that have been there since before we were ranked. And honestly, those are some of the faces you remember the most, because they were there before we were selling out every game, before we were like being talked about on NCAA volleyball and things like that. And I think the fact that they saw something in us, and even then they were here to support us. And it's funny because we dropped a set today, and some people get up and you're like, are they leaving? Do they think we suck? But then they went to go get some popcorn and they came back. And I think the fact that our fans are with us through the wins, the losses, the tough sets, the easy sets, and you look into the stands and someone makes eye contact with you and they're like, you got this, and it fuels us. It makes playing at home so much more fun and so much better. because we know that our fans have our back, and we see them on the street, we see them around town at restaurants, and they're yelling "Go Cards," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're on the volleyball team." And I think they do more than just cheer us on, but they kind of fuel us when we want to play for them. So when we drop sets at home, we've disappointed our fans, and that's kind of, we want to defend our home court and play well for them, and it just all around makes us play so much better.
Okay, well, that's all I have. I appreciate you sitting down with us.
Thank you.